How many times have you said to yourself, why am I so lazy? Why can't I just get it together and just get this weight off and keep it off? It shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Well, what if there's actually more to the story? And what if you can change it? That is what's most important, getting the results that you deeply, dearly, desperately want. Welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. Today is episode number 329, and this is Get Real, episode number 76 of the JoLynn Braley Show. Stay tuned if, and only if, you are willing to get real with yourself for the purpose of getting the weight loss results that you want. Hello. Welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. Today is episode number 329, and this is Get Real, episode number 76. Since the very first episode of the JoLynn Braley Show in January 2013, the first Thursday of that month, each month I've been doing one Get Real episode per month, and what I've heard in all of the feedback I've received is that the Get Real episodes are the most wanted and the most popular. My coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet love them also. Why? Because how can you expect to get to where you want to go if somebody is just telling you that, oh yeah, everything's fine, no big deal, just keep eating how you are? What changes with your results when you keep doing the same thing over and over again? You keep eating that same processed food, you keep overeating, you keep emotional eating, you keep binge eating. When will it change? All right, so we have a choice to delude ourselves and stay in denial and stay in a world of total delusion. And I understand, I've been there before too. Or you can come out of that place and get real with yourself for the purpose of making the core changes that you need to make on all levels to finally get what you really want, so that, hey, you can look your best in your jeans and you can feel great about yourself. You can truly, deeply, honestly love yourself. Not just say the words, but show it in your actions. Show it in your behaviors. So if you are looking for more people to blame for why you are where you are with your weight, if you're looking for more excuses to make, if you're looking for more hate to be spewed, then this is definitely not the place for you. Please exit this podcast now. I'm sure that there are many other places out there where you can go where people are going to tell you that, oh, you're just wonderful, you're just beautiful, and just stay as you are. And great, if that works for you, and if you actually get real, honest to goodness change in your life, in your body, in how you feel about yourself, in your behaviors. All right, words don't mean anything if your behaviors don't match. So if you can get that by just, saying that everything's fine, awesome. That's fantastic. Go do that now. Do it right now. But leave this podcast. All right. So now for you who is still here, yay! You understand that you gotta take a moment and you gotta stop lying to yourself. Come out of the denial, come out of the delusion if you want to honestly and sincerely and truthfully not just get to your goal weight, but feel good about how you're eating. And not just feel good about how you're eating, But I mean physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and behaviorally. All right? We can say until the end of time that I want to lose weight. I want to do this. I want to do that. But if your actions aren't lining up, then what are the results that you are getting? Okay, are you following me? So the place to start is to take off the blinders, to look at what you're really doing to create a healthy relationship with food, to get to your ideal weight, to get to your healthiest weight, to get to your healthiest body fat percentage in a sane, healthy manner that works for you as a lifestyle, not some kind of a quickie fad diet, because we all know those don't work. They always boomerang and hit you right back in the face like a big old wet rubber band. That hurts, doesn't it? I mean, you do that so many times and a lot of people give up, but you haven't given up because you're here right now. So sometimes, often, many times, it can be painful to really get real with yourself and really look at yourself. It's no one else's responsibility for you to create a healthy lifestyle with food, for you to create a healthy lifestyle with yourself, for you to learn how to not only love yourself, but to like yourself. It's your responsibility to do these things. And unfortunately, just saying the words or thinking the thoughts or making declarations or resolutions or proclamations, it's not enough. The behavior and the consistent action has to follow. And so today, here on this Get Real episode number 76 of the JoLynn Braley Show, this is podcast episode number 329. We're looking at when you're constantly thinking to yourself or saying to yourself, I'm so lazy, why can't I just get it together and lose weight? Is laziness really, really the problem, or is there more to this? Because have you ever noticed that if you just keep beating yourself up and you keep telling yourself that you're so lazy, then what do you go do? What do? You binge, you emotionally eat, you eat all kinds of crappy, poisonous, fat-inducing processed food. And then that cycle just keeps going. Then you keep saying to yourself, oh, why am I so lazy? What's wrong with me? Why can't I just lose weight? But then you go eat more of that crap, fake food, right? And it doesn't get you to where you want to go. So obviously, berating yourself and putting yourself down and just saying that you're lazy, that probably, in fact, I know that's not the solution, but there has to be another way. Does that make sense? Now, before we go on, I have a free download for you at www.easyfunweightloss.com. And since you're listening to this podcast today about laziness versus is there really some other issue, and we're getting real about this, probably when you hear easyfunweightloss.com, you think, wow, well, how can weight loss ever be easy? How can it ever be fun? It can never be, never. It will never be easy and fun if you don't change your mindset. Your mind is the most powerful tool in your weight loss toolbox. It's 92.8% of the whole game. Now, this also means that if you were to take action to get a weight loss mindset, you would already have 92.8% of the power in your court. Obviously, you have to change your eating. But most people never change their eating, or they don't stick with it consistently because they don't have the right mindset for it. And they're saying things to themselves like, I'm so lazy, I can never do it, I can't get it together, I can't stick with it. That is your mindset. Does that make sense? So I have this free download at www.easyfunweightloss.com. You can go grab it now, download it. It's got some tips in it for you. In fact, you can get started right now with any of those tips and see how it helps. At the end of today's podcast, I'll also share with you, if you really are serious about getting to the bottom of this once and for all, if you don't want to wait another year or another 5 years or another 10 years in this struggle, and you know you need help, and you know you want the fastest path to a weight loss mindset, you know you want the fastest path to the results you want because you want to get the weight off and you want to look your best and you want to feel good about yourself again. I'll share with you at the end what your first step is to do that. All right, so getting real about this topic of laziness. Is the problem really that you're lazy? Maybe it is. Okay, let's get real. Maybe it is. Maybe that is part of it. Maybe you have the mistaken belief that you shouldn't have to do any work to get what you want. Now, that could be a real slap in the face for a lot of people because somehow they've gotten the idea that everything should be free and all you got to do is just sit around and things should come to you because you deserve it. And I think that remember the DVD that came out many years ago called The Secret, which was pretty cool on some levels. And it's about the law of attraction, which can be used to help you lose weight. But the most important piece of the law of attraction was left out of The Secret because they portrayed it. They portrayed the law of attraction to sound like all you have to do is meditate and believe and checks will come in the mail to you. That was what they were showing in their story. No, you have to take action. Yes, you do have to be able to see yourself at your goal. And in this case, we're talking about your body, about your weight, about your eating. We're talking about you getting to your best weight, your healthiest weight, you looking your best in your jeans. You obviously will need to have, it's required, you'll have to clean up your relationship with food, which has to do with your mental state, your emotional state, your physical state, your spiritual state. It's a very complex issue. This is why no diet, just a plain old mainstream diet, it's why they've always failed you. This is why they have not helped you to get to where you really want to go, because they miss the most important ingredients. A mainstream physical diet, if it is healthy, it gives you the physical steps for what you need to do with your eating, your meals, your food, your portion sizes, all of that good stuff. And that is required. There's no getting around it. But when you are missing 92.8% of the equation, it doesn't matter how many of these healthy physical eating plans you collect. If you're still asking yourself, or you still believe that you're lazy, or you're flawed, or you're not good enough, or there's something wrong with you, then what happens? What do you end up doing? How do you behave? Do you consistently, meal after meal after meal after meal, follow through with the action with a healthy eating plan and get all the way to your best weight and stay there? All right? Are you with me? Is this making sense? If you don't have the foundation of the healthiest, strongest, best mindset, then you pretty much, I hate to say it, but I will say it because it's the truth and because we're getting real. You're basically doomed from the beginning. Because if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe you deserve it, if you don't believe you deserve to do the work to change your lifestyle because let's get real, it's easier to go to McDonald's. It's easier to buy the bags of Doritos and eat as many as you want. It's easier to buy frozen, processed, packaged foods. It's easier to go to the deli. It's easier to go to the bakery. I know. I've done all of this. It's easier to buy the packaged foods. It takes work to cook for yourself, to change your eating, to eat clean, which is the only thing that's ever worked for me. And I'm going to be sharing more about that before we get done here today, about what I've got coming up. It takes more effort and more focus. Focus is huge. See, there's so many levels to this entire issue. There are so many levels. This is why I do the coaching that I do with my private coaching clients in the inner self diet. Because the inner self diet addresses the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual aspects of this complicated issue. And my coaching clients, whatever their biggest challenge is, they overcome it in the inner self diet, as long as they follow the steps, of course, right? We have to take action. Words are not enough. Words aren't enough. And you might not like what I'm saying, but it's the truth, and I'm not going to lie about it. There's no way to think yourself out of this problem. You do have to change your thinking, absolutely. And you need to replace the thoughts of I'm so lazy, I'm so fat, I'm ugly, I'm gross, I'm hopeless. You have to replace those thoughts. And hey, I know what you're thinking because I've been doing this coaching with real coaching clients, awesome women and a few cool men since 2009. I started my mind, body, weight loss business in 2007, and I started professionally coaching in 2009. I know all of the negativity that you've got going on. Well, I can't say I know personally exactly what you are thinking because I'm here in my home office recording studio recording this free weight loss podcast for you. I would have to talk to you and I'd have to coach you to find out what is going on with you so that I can help you personally get beyond your internal roadblocks so that you then take the action that you need to take, the consistent action you need to take to get that weight off and keep it off. Are you following me? Words are not enough, but you do have to change your words. So what I was saying there a minute ago is that there's not enough thinking that you can do that will get you to your goal weight. There's not enough meditating that you can do that will get you to your goal weight. There's not enough self-hypnosis that you can do that will get you to your goal weight. Now, self-hypnosis, guided meditation, these are tools that can be used to help you change your thinking. But then we have to back up because you have to take action consistently with those tools to get those to work. And then you still have to get to the point where you're taking the action to change your eating, change your exercise, change your lifestyle, so that in the real life world results, your body is releasing your excess stores of the physical fat, which is energy that's stored up, and it's not bad and it's not horrible. It's how the body works. All right? But you got to get to the point where you're taking the action. Words that do not match your actions mean nothing. Words that don't match your results mean nothing. What always matters are your results. If you are getting the results of dropping 1 to 2 pounds of physical fat per week, if you're getting the results of an easy, struggle-free, consistent behavioral action of eating healthy, eating clean, eating in a manner that you're not binge eating, you're not emotional eating, you're not obsessing about food. And when you're able to act like this in a consistent way, it's your way of life, it feels great to you, you want to do it, then it really is easy and it really is fun. But it's very, very hard to believe this and envision it when you're so stuck in the muck and when you keep telling yourself or keep asking yourself, why am I so lazy? Why can't I just get it together? Why can't I change? All right. So my thought on all of this is that laziness, which is an outward expression of how you behave or don't behave, laziness is a manifestation of what you're doing on the inside, what you're thinking. You have to change your thinking, which will change how you feel. But then the whole purpose of changing your thinking and changing your emotional state is so that then you take the action to get the positive, healthy, self-loving, self-love-filled results of healthy living, healthy, consistent living, a healthy, consistent lifestyle, so that you get the results of getting that weight off and keeping it off. Are you following me? And you got to get real right now with where you're at in order to get on the path to making these changes. Like I said, there are many, many levels and many components of this entire weight loss problem. And especially when you're binge eating, when you're emotional eating, when you're beating yourself up, when you're telling yourself you're lazy, when you keep asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? It can really be a heavy quagmire that impacts every single aspect of your life. And it impacts you from the moment you wake up in the morning until the moment you finally pass out at night and go to sleep. And I understand because I have been through all of this, and so have my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. And I did say that before we got done here today, I want to offer you a way out if you really are serious about making a change now. This is not for you if you are not committed to yourself. And that's okay if you're not committed to yourself. You can listen to some more of my podcasts. And in fact, what I have coming up over these next 10 podcasts, starting with episode number 330, going through episode 339, what I'm going to be doing is talking and sharing specifically about my experience with clean eating. I'm going to be sharing about why the first 3 days of eating clean are so critical. The very first day is uber critical, but so is the second, so is the third, and then what happens after that, and why is clean eating, based on my experience, it's the best way physically. Okay, you still got to have the right mindset, which is 92.8% of the challenge. You still got to have that. But if you have that in place, then based on my experience, clean eating is actually a huge component of letting the binge eating and the emotional eating go. So I'm going to be talking about these different topics over these next 10 podcasts. So my point is, if you're not committed to yourself right now to make a big, bold change, and if you're willing to stay in the struggle by yourself even longer, then that is completely your choice, and you get to take full responsibility for it. And if you're happy with it, that is totally awesome. It's your life. It's your choice. On the other hand, if you are fed up, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're sick and tired of feeling frumpy, fat, lazy, you're sick and tired of asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Why am I so lazy? I know I need a mindset change. And I know that if I could just get myself to follow this healthy eating plan that I followed in the past that worked for me, I know if I could just get my head in the right place that I really could do this. But I can't do it alone. I need help. I need accountability. I've never been able to get to the root of this mindset issue before. And you've listened to how many of my podcasts here on the JoLynn Braley Show? You've got the faith, you've got the hope, you've got the belief that I can actually help you. But what we would need to do is get on the phone together to find out for sure if or how I can help you personally break through your personal mindset barriers so that you can get to the other side of that to honestly and sincerely make weight loss struggle-free, make it easy and make it fun, which can only be accomplished once you have the right mindset. So if I'm talking to you and if you're loving what I'm saying and you know that you need help to do it and that you're missing the biggest piece of the puzzle, which is the right mindset, if you feel in your gut that this could be possible for you, and if you're committed to yourself and if you're serious about taking real action, because like I said before, my coaching clients in the inner self diet, since I've been doing this work since 2009, I've never had anybody fail with it unless they didn't do the steps. All right? There's no free ride in life. Nothing is free. There's always a price. And you have to invest in yourself. You got to invest the work. You got to invest the time. You got to invest the emotional and mental focus that must be invested for you to make some real changes. And listen, you got to be willing to start from the beginning and take baby steps and then build up from there. You got to be willing to invest in yourself on all levels, mentally, financially, spiritually, emotionally, with your focus. And the only kind of people who do this are the ones who want a big, bold change. You know what I mean, Jean? So if you want to get the help that you deserve, if you want to make this year the best year that you've had so far, then your first step is to go over to www.discovery-session.com. Discovery-session.com. Just follow the steps to complete a complimentary application for a complimentary weight loss discovery session. Get that sent in to my office. Let's see about getting on the phone to find out if or how I can help you personally. And if I can't help you personally, I'll give you a tip or two about what you can do next. But we don't know anything unless we actually talk. So your first step is to go over to www.discovery-session.com, enter your first name and email, follow the steps to complete your weight loss discovery session application, and go get that done now. If you want the best for yourself, which means that you got to have some kind of belief and some kind of hope for yourself, which means that you've got to have some level of self-love for yourself. Even though my coaching clients are really stuck when they first find me and they're saying all kinds of horrible things to themselves, like, I'm so lazy, there's something wrong with me, I'm not good enough. Even with all of that, they still have that spark within them that has not given up. I can't help anybody who's completely given up. And I would hope that the people who have totally given up, they're not listening to my podcast, and they certainly shouldn't be listening all the way to the end of this one, right? And they're not willing to get real with themselves. They're actually deluding themselves that they're healthy if they're obese, which is not how the human body works. Okay? So anyway, www.discovery-session.com if you want to make this year your best year yet. If you really want to get all the way to your best weight and you know that You gotta change your mindset to do it, because that's 92.8% of the whole kit and caboodle. Heck, I've had coaching clients. I've actually had coaching clients who were running gyms. I've had gym owners. I've had fitness instructors. I've had dietitians. Now, my point is, they had all of the healthy information they needed, but they still were stuck with their own mindset and their own limiting beliefs. They weren't able to get themselves to take the action they needed to take to get to where they wanted to be with their healthiest body and weight. So they did the inner self diet to break free, to get to that place where they really were taking the real world action to get the real world results. All right. Hey, catch my upcoming 10 free weight loss podcasts here on the JoLynn Braley Show if you want to hear more about my experience with eating clean. And if you want my personal help, if you want to find out if or how I can help you personally, start at www.discovery-session.com. I'm JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet, the diet that is required if you want to make weight loss struggle-free and you want it to last. I wish you your best life, living inside of your ideal body, looking your best in your jeans, because why not? Why not? Why not? You're here. Why not show up looking your best, feeling your best? Yay!